Some of the coolest muscle cars from the 1970s never got the fame they deserved. Watch out for these 15 hidden AMC sleepers that packed serious power but stayed out of the spotlight. Number 15. AMC Hornet 360, 1970. When talking about unknown sleeper cars, the AMC Hornet 360 from 1970 deserves a special spot. It stayed concealed from the spotlight, even though it packed a real punch under its modest looks. At first glance, the Hornet looked like a regular compact car, but there was much more waiting once you got closer. Right away, the blue exterior with white striping caught the eye, followed by a bold hood scoop that hinted something powerful was under the surface. Moving inside, the story got even better. Blue vinyl seats with adjustable headrests made the cabin feel a little sporty, yet still very comfortable. Then came a surprise. A tachometer right in front of the driver and a Hurst shifter, ready to command the strong 4-speed manual transmission. In addition, an AM radio sat in the dash, offering simple old-school entertainment. Under the hood, the excitement continued to grow. The AMC Hornet SC/360 had a 360 cubic inch V8 engine with a 4-barrel carburetor, pushing out 285 horsepower and nearly 400 pound-feet of torque. Thanks to smart engineering, the engine sat low and far back in the chassis. Because of this clever design, the car is handled very well, and it feels almost like a sports car when driven on the road. Looking a little deeper, the Hornet stood on heavy-duty suspension with 5-spoke wheels wrapped in white striped tires, giving it a proper muscle car stance. It weighed under 3,200 pounds, helping it deliver strong performance without feeling heavy or sluggish. In fact, it could run the quarter-mile in the 14-second range. Impressive for a compact car built for everyday use. As time passed, the Hornet's strong chassis found its way into many other AMC models, including the Gremlin and the Eagle, lasting all the way until 1988. This showed just how tough and smart the original design was. Along the way, some models, like the Tribute versions, came with upgrades like custom interiors, disc brakes, aftermarket gauges, and mild camshafts. Even with these changes, the original spirit of the AMC Hornet 360 remained strong, continuing to be one of the best unknown sleeper cars from the golden age of American muscle. Number 14. AMC Javelin AMX, 1970. In the world of unknown sleeper cars, the 1970 AMC Javelin AMX is a masked masterpiece. Even though it had powerful engines and exciting designs, it stayed mostly in the shadows compared to other big-name muscle cars. Right from the start, the Javelin looked stronger and longer, measuring 191.04 inches. It showed off a new full-width grille, twin Venturi style, a deep front bumper with smart parking lamps, and a longer hood fitted with dual simulated scoops. Stepping inside, there was even more to discover. With a new full-span dashboard filled with round recessed instruments, the Javelin made a bold statement. Right above the dashboard was a wide crash pad for extra safety, and a high-mounted glove box gave better storage. Not stopping there, new rim-blow steering wheels and stronger anti-theft ignition locks made this car modern for its time. Now, under the hood, the real magic happened. The engine options got a big shakeup. A new 304 cubic inch V8 engine with 210 horsepower replaced the older 290. Also, a new 360 cubic inch V8 took over from the 343, and the mighty 390 cubic inch V8 boosted its horsepower from 315 to a strong 325. With this much power, the Javelin could easily hold its own, yet it stayed an unknown hero. At the same time, AMC introduced two very special versions. First came the rare SST Trans Am edition, with only 100 cars made. Wearing bright colors of Matador Red, Frost White, and Commodore Blue, this version stood out even more with a special Trans Am front and rear spoiler. Underneath, it carried the strong 390 cubic inch engine, with a 4-speed synchromesh transmission and Hurst shifter. A Go package also came standard, adding a Ram air hood, dual exhaust, and front-power disc brakes. Then came the SST Mark Donahue edition. It had a unique rear spoiler and was built just so it could be raced legally. Only 2,501 units were made, making it quite special. This model could be ordered with either the 360 or 390 cubic inches V8 engine, bringing serious muscle covered behind a stylish body. Number 13, AMC Gremlin X, 1971. The 1971 AMC Gremlin X looked like a small city car, but underneath it hid the spirit of a true unknown sleeper car. Covered in bright yellow paint with sharp black graphics, it already looked a little louder than a regular Gremlin. Adding to its sporty image, a rear air deflector stood above the hatch glass, while chrome bumpers with black rubber guards gave it extra style. Looking closer, the 15-inch American Racing Torque thrust wheels made the car look even more serious. Wrapped in wide white letter tires, they helped the Gremlin stay steady on the road. Stopping power came from strong, power-assisted front disc brakes and rear drum brakes, making sure the car could slow down just as quickly as it could speed up. Inside the cabin, the surprises continued. The front bucket seats and rear bench wore black vinyl upholstery, perfectly matching the dashboard, door panels, and carpets. In the middle, a floor-mounted shifter waited, and Kenwood speakers brought modern sound to a retro-style digital stereo. Though the air conditioning was not working, everything else kept the inside feeling fresh and lively. Looking right behind the steering wheel, an engine-turned instrument panel surrounded the gauges. It showed a speedometer and extra small gauges to track important things. The 5-digit odometer showed 75,000 miles, with only about 250 miles added by the most recent owner. Inside the power compartment, the Gremlin X truly became a secret weapon. A 305 cubic inch Ford V8 engine had been placed inside, making a big difference over the original small engines. It came with a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, MSD ignition parts, and long tube exhaust headers, all helping the car make more power. To keep the engine cool, an aluminum radiator with dual electric fans was fitted, and a fresh fuel pump was installed during the year 2020. With power going to the rear wheels through a 3-speed automatic transmission, the Gremlin X could move fast and sound great too. An aftermarket dual exhaust system with accelerator mufflers gave the car a deep, strong sound, completing the build of a true hidden champion that many people would never expect. Number 12, AMC Matador Coupe, 1971. The 1971 AMC Matador Coupe quietly earned its place among unknown sleeper cars by hiding real muscle beneath a simple body. Replacing the Rebel, it actually carried over many features, but added fresher looks that buyers liked much more. The Matador wore a semi-loop front bumper, similar to some Chrysler cars of the time, and came in 3 styles, including a sharp 2-door fastback coupe with a Gremlin-like rear quarter window. Looking closer, it offered choices between a 4-door sedan and a 5-door wagon, with the wagon even having a rear-facing 3rd-row seat and wood-grain side trim for fancier versions. Moving forward, the Matador could be ordered with almost any AMC engine, starting with the 232 cubic inch inline-6 and stretching all the way up to the big 401 cubic inch V8. Most drivers chose the smooth 3-speed automatic, but manual transmissions were also there for those wanting a sportier feel. Adding to its unseen magic, AMC offered a special machine package that was only for 2-door fastbacks. Even though almost no one knew about it, around 50 Matador machines were built. These rare cars packed either a 360 or a 401 cubic inch V8 engine, dual exhausts, and a heavy-duty handling package. Unlike the flashy Rebel Machine from a year earlier, the Matador machine wore much quieter paint jobs, keeping its power a secret from most people. As years went by, the 1972 Matador changed very little except for a slightly different grille. Cars with the bigger V8 engines now use the tough Chrysler-built Torque Flight automatic transmission. Sadly, the machine package disappeared after this, making the 1971 version even more special. Meanwhile, the Matador's fastback coupe found a second life on the racetrack, especially in NASCAR, where its shape helped it go fast even if sales and showrooms were slow. At the same time, police departments liked the Matador too, especially when equipped with the strong 401 cubic inch V8 and police interceptor packages. Even though not many remember it today, the 1971 Matador Coupe, with the right options, became one of the most impressive and best secret muscle cars of its time. Number 11. AMC Rebel Machine, 1970. The 1970 AMC Rebel Machine became one of the great unknown sleeper cars by combining strong muscle power with a quiet look. It arrived with a bold idea, built on the mid-sized Rebel platform and fitted with muscle car strength. At the start, the first 1,000 cars wore loud red, white, and blue graphics that made them stand out, but many later, machines came in normal colors, helping them hide their true performance on the street. Right away, the Rebel Machine showed its serious side. It featured a fiberglass hood scoop with a built-in external tachometer, styled steel 15-inch wheels, and special decal graphics. Moving to the inside, it kept things simple with high-back bucket seats, covered in Ventilair vinyl, and a plain dashboard shared with regular Rebel models. Buyers could pick between a 4-speed manual with a Hurst shifter or a 3-speed automatic, giving some choice depending on how they wanted the car to feel. Looking deeper, the real strength came from the engine. The Rebel Machine used AMC's 390 cubic inch V8, bumped up to 340 horsepower at 5,100 revolutions per minute with a special cold air intake system. The setup included a giant rubber ring that sealed the air cleaner to the hood scoop. With a 10-to-1 compression ratio, this engine needed premium gas and got its fuel from an Autolite 4-barrel carburetor. Helping the car stay steady were heavy-duty springs, shocks, and brakes. In fact, it even used rear leaf springs from the station wagon lineup, giving it a strong hot rod rake. Most cars came with a 3.54-to-1 rear axle ratio for the 4-speed or a 3.15-to-1 for the automatic. A limited-slip Dana twin grip unit was also available for drivers who wanted even more grip. At the same time, the machine carried extra weight because of the Rebel's longer 114-inch wheelbase and heavy frame, making it slower than some rivals. Still, mid-14-second quarter-mile times at about 93 miles per hour meant it was quick enough to surprise many bigger names. Sadly, the Rebel Machine lasted only 1 year, making it one of the rarest and best-veiled muscle cars of its time. Number 10. AMC Ambassador Brougham, 1972. The 1972 AMC. Ambassador Brougham became one of those unknown sleeper cars that few people noticed, but many should have. From the outside, it looked like just a big family station wagon, but concealed underneath was real strength and surprising style. The Ambassador wore smooth snow-white paint, shiny chrome, and fake wood grain trim that gave it a rich and classic look without being flashy. Moving around the car, everything seemed made for comfort and space. The long body, big rear window, and clean trim made it feel more like a luxury car than a muscle machine. It rolled on sturdy tires, and the chrome around the wheel wells was in perfect shape. Even after so many years, the paint still looked fresh, with only small nicks here and there that gave it character rather than wear. Inside the car, the story became even more interesting. The seats and door panels wore soft materials that stayed in great shape, and the headliner looked almost new. A simple but strong dashboard greeted the driver with a vertical AM radio off to the side and fake wood trim adding a cozy touch. Even small things like the floor mats showed how carefully the Ambassador had been kept over time. At the same time, the mechanical parts showed why this car mattered. Powered by a 360 cubic inch V8 engine, the Ambassador had more punch than many people expected. Even with a 2-barrel carburetor, it felt quick off the line and smooth at higher speeds. The transmission, a strong 3-speed automatic, shifted easily and kept the ride steady, whether on city streets or speeding along at 65 to 70 miles per hour. In addition, the Ambassador's steering was light but firm, with no sloppy feel, and the brakes gave strong stopping power. Even though the shocks needed some help over bumps, the ride stayed solid and comfortable most of the time. A few small repairs, like new hoses, a carburetor rebuild, and brake work, were needed, but overall, the car kept running strong. This big, quiet station wagon surprised almost everyone with its out-of-sight power and easy driving, making the 1972 AMC Ambassador Brougham a truly unknown sleeper car from a time when family wagons could also be quick and stylish. Number 9. AMC Gremlin 304 V8, 1972. The 1972 AMC Gremlin 304 V8 remained mostly unknown, even though it offered the kind of secret power that makes a true sleeper car. Painted in bright Trans Am red, it kept a simple look that did not scream for attention. Even after 49 years, the body stayed clean with no serious marks or rust, thanks to many years spent in sunny California. Looking closely, the chrome bumpers and clear glass added to its neat appearance. The wheels also remained in good shape, helping the car keep its classic style. A full new decal set for the Gremlin X was available too, allowing the next owner to bring back the original sporty looks without much effort. At the same time, there were good used and NOS parts offered separately, making it easy to restore the car to a showroom level if someone wished. Moving inside, the Gremlin kept its simple but charming design. The front seats already wore new covers, while the back seat needed only a good cleaning. A brand new carpet set came with the car, along with a good second-hand headliner ready for installation. Other than that, it just needed some cleaning and reassembly. The dashboard held a push-button radio, and parts were included to add a factory air conditioning system, making it much more comfortable during hot days. Now, talking about the power, the story became even more exciting. The small Gremlin carried a strong 304 cubic inch V8 engine, which produced 150 horsepower. It came with a 3-speed automatic transmission, power steering, and front disc brakes. Even though the car was not a muscle car, it could still cover the quarter mile in about 16.6 seconds, which was quick enough to surprise many people at stoplights. Adding more fun, the V8 breathed through a new dual exhaust system, giving the car a sweet and deeper sound. The tires, still dated back to 1972, would need replacing before any long trips. The Gremlin ran and drove well for short journeys, and with a little care, it could easily become a lively and rare machine that would leave a big smile on any driver's face. Number 8. AMC Matador 401, 1974. The 1974 AMC Matador 401 stayed undiscovered in the crowd, but carried real strength, making it a truly unknown sleeper car. Restyled for this year, the Matador grew longer, bigger, and heavier, giving it a bold look without shouting for attention. The front of the sedans and wagons now had an extended prow that many nicknamed the coffin nose, while the coupe models were built completely new, sharing no body panels with the other versions. Looking at the engine choices, the Matador started with a 258 cubic inch inline 6, but the real excitement came from the optional V8s, especially the powerful 401 cubic inch engine. This large V8 gave the Matador a strong performance, even though most people only saw it as a heavy family car. Almost every Matador from this time used a smooth, 3-speed automatic transmission, making the drive easy and comfortable. At the same time, the Matador had to take a bigger role because AMC dropped the Ambassador after 1974. Now, being the largest car AMC offered, the Matador tried to move slightly upmarket with more luxury features. Even so, it kept strong mechanical parts that gave it surprising muscle for a car of its size and class. Through the next few years, changes were very small. The 1976 model had a slightly different grille, and catalytic converters became common, depending on where the car was sold. By 1977, the car remained mostly the same, keeping the same engine choices and body styles. The Barcelona package was introduced in 1978 for the sedan, adding two-tone paint and extra luxury. But it was not enough to save the Matador as sales continued to fall. Interestingly, the Matador still found life elsewhere. It became a favorite for police departments, where its big V8 made it perfect for chasing down trouble. It even appeared in popular TV shows and movies, like in the early seasons of The Dukes of Hazzard and the James Bond movie The Man with the Golden Gun, showing the Matador in action. Even though it faded from the spotlight, the 1974 AMC Matador 401 quietly carried the heart of a real sleeper, waiting to surprise anyone who dared to underestimate its size and strength. Number 7. AMC Pacer 360, 1975. The 1975 AMC Pacer 360 stood out as one of the most unknown sleeper cars, hiding interesting ideas behind a strange and bold look. Painted in bright green apple, it wore chrome bumpers, a polished exhaust finisher, and chrome door handles that added a touch of shine. The shape was wide and short, making it look very different from anything else on the road. Looking closer, the Pacer rolled on 14-inch chrome moon-style wheels, wrapped in strong radial tires. It used power-assisted steering, front disc brakes, and rear drum brakes, helping it stay controlled, even if the roads got rough. Some small issues, like non-working reverse lights and a few spots of rust, showed the car's age, but the strong body stayed mostly solid. Inside, the brown vinyl seats with patterned cloth inserts made the cabin feel warm and comfortable. Equipment was simple, with hand-crank windows, a heater, and a locking glove box. A push-button radio was there too, though it no longer worked. The steering wheel sat in front of a 90 miles per hour speedometer, a fuel gauge, and a gear indicator for the automatic shifter. At the same time, the real surprise came from the engine. The Pacer carried a 258 cubic inch inline six, rated at 100 horsepower. While it was not built for speed, it offered a smooth and relaxed driving style when paired with the 3-speed automatic transmission. The power steering made it easy to turn, although the system did leak a little fluid. Driving the Pacer felt big and soft at first, but it handled corners better than expected, thanks to the wide tires and front anti-roll bar. The ride stayed smooth as long as the road stayed smooth too. However, on rough surfaces, the old-fashioned suspension with rear leaf springs made things less comfortable. Fuel economy was only fair, around 16 miles per gallon, and acceleration was slow, reaching 60 miles per hour in just under 16 seconds. Still, the wide windows gave amazing visibility, and the unusual style made people smile everywhere it went. Even though it never became famous for its performance, the 1975 AMC Pacer 360 remained a true classic with more charm than many cars of its time. Number 6. AMC Javelin SST 1971. The 1971 AMC Javelin SST quietly became one of the great unknown sleeper cars, offering style and muscle without shouting about it. Painted in bright Trans Am red, it wore a bold black T-stripe on the hood, a front chin spoiler, chrome rear-view mirrors, and a sporty rear spoiler that gave it a strong presence. Even though it looked ready to race, most people saw it as just another stylish car from the early 70s. Looking closer, this Javelin rolled on American Motors steel rally wheels wrapped in hand-cooked radial tires, keeping it ready for both smooth roads and quick turns. After a full restoration, the body and paint stayed fresh. Those small chips near the front fender and rear spoiler showed the car's real-world experience. The reverse light had a crack too, but none of these small flaws took away from the car's overall charm. Stepping inside, the black vinyl and cloth upholstery made the cabin feel sporty yet comfortable. Manual windows, a center console with an automatic shifter, and power steering kept the setup simple and driver-friendly. Adding some fun, a retro sound AM/FM stereo with an amplifier and subwoofer brought modern music to the classic interior without changing its old-school vibe. Now talking about the engine, the Javelin SST packed a 304 cubic inch V8 engine, breathing through a 2-barrel carburetor. Updates like an HEI ignition system and an aluminum radiator made sure it stayed reliable and strong. Power went to the rear wheels through a smooth 3-speed automatic transmission, giving the Javelin an easygoing but confident feel when driving. At the same time, the rebuilt suspension, solid rear drive axle, and manual brakes made sure the car kept its old muscle car spirit. Dual exhaust outlets with MagnaFlow mufflers gave it a deeper growl that fit its tough appearance perfectly. Although it was not the fastest car of its time, it delivered plenty of fun and style for anyone willing to look past the flashier names. With just 44,000 miles showing on the odometer, even if true mileage was unknown, the 1971 AMC Javelin SST stood proudly as a true find, offering a cool ride for drivers who wanted something different from the usual crowd. Number 5. AMC Hornet SST 304, 1972. The 1972 AMC Hornet SST 304 stayed a treasure among unknown sleeper cars, offering charm and strength without asking for attention. Wearing its original canary yellow paint, even after 46 years, the two-door sedan looked simple, but had a classic style that turned heads without being loud. Black steel wheels with dog dish hubcaps finished off the tough and honest look. Moving closer, the Hornet showed a body that stayed straight and clean, thanks to a lifetime spent mostly indoors. Even small details like the chrome and trim stayed sharp, making it clear the car had been cared for deeply. The seller shared that it had been a daily driver for the first 13 years and then lovingly kept ever since. Inside the cabin, the story stayed just as good. The seats wore houndstooth fabric inserts that kept the interior looking fresh and interesting. Manual windows and simple controls gave it an old-school feeling that many car lovers now miss. The Hornet came with a 3-speed column-mounted automatic transmission, even though the early description caused some small confusion. Looking at the wide brake pedal and gear indicator, it clearly pointed to an automatic setup, making it easy to drive every day. Now talking about power, this Hornet originally came with a 232 cubic inch inline-6 engine rated at 100 horsepower. However, dreaming a little bigger, the idea of fitting the strong 304 cubic inch V8 engine made the Hornet SST even more exciting. Although the factory never paired the big V8 with a manual for the SST, swapping in a stronger motor was not hard and would turn the Hornet into a real backstreet surprise. At the same time, the Hornet was built simply, without power steering or power brakes, keeping it light and easy to maintain. Even with basic features, its curb weight stayed low, giving it a fun and quick feeling when moving around town. Although it was never designed to be a muscle car, the Hornet SST 304 had the right size and spirit to become a real performer with a few small changes. This little yellow car, looking calm and humble, stayed a true unknown sleeper, ready to show classic strength to anyone brave enough to take the wheel. Number 4. AMC Matador Sedan, 1973. The 1973 AMC Matador Sedan lived quietly among the unknown sleeper cars, often overlooked while carrying plenty of smart ideas inside. It arrived during a time when people wanted flashy new designs, but the Matador stayed focused on practical details. One clever touch was the use of extruded aluminum window surrounds, which never rusted and kept even base models looking a little brighter than their rivals. Looking carefully, the Matador sedan kept a clean and simple shape that made sense for the early 70s. It had a strong but plain body, not chasing after the wild looks of some newer cars. Even though many buyers drifted toward flashier options, the Matador still had solid build quality and smart engineering covered behind its plain style. At the same time, the Matador found a new life working for police departments across the country. Instead of chasing private buyers, AMC made good deals with city police forces. Soon, many towns replaced their black and white fleets with pastel-colored Matadors. These cars became known for their strength and reliability, even if they were not the fastest on the streets. Moving forward, it was clear that the Matador carried strong parts underneath. Starting as the Rebel back in 1967, the design stayed competitive for a few years, before changes in style left it looking a little behind. When the name changed to Matador around 1970, the updates did not bring much new excitement, but the bones of the car remained tough and dependable. Although AMC tried to refresh the Matador in later years with bigger noses and wild designs, the 1973 sedan kept things simple. It still used a proven engine like the 304 cubic inch V8, paired with smooth automatic transmissions. These Matadors offered quiet and steady driving without flash. Even if few noticed at the time, the 1973 AMC Matador Sedan was ready to surprise. It did not win beauty contests, but it stayed dependable in a time when flashy looks often hid poor quality. This forgotten sedan carried the true spirit of a sleeper, staying strong long after others were gone. Number 3. AMC Hornet AMX, 1977. The 1977 AMC Hornet AMX became a surprisingly unknown sleeper car, standing out with bold looks and a lively spirit. Built when muscle cars were fading, it brought fresh excitement to a time focused mostly on the economy. With body-colored fender flares, a chin spoiler, and bright, non-metallic colors like alpine white and firecracker red, it looked ready for action even when sitting still. Looking closer, the Hornet AMX wore blacked-out grills, body-colored bumpers, and polished 5-spoke aluminum wheels. It offered drivers a real sporty look without the heavy cost of bigger, flashier muscle cars. Inside, it stayed fun and simple with a rally gauge cluster, a tachometer, a floor shifter, and a sporty steering wheel. Black or tan interiors kept the choices clean, and some special models even had the Levi's denim package. Moving on to performance, choices were limited by government rules. Buyers could pick a 258 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine or a 304 cubic inch V8 engine. Both engines came with a 3-speed automatic transmission, while a 4-speed manual was available only with the 6-cylinder. Even without big horsepower numbers, the AMX's lighter body and free-flowing dual exhaust helped it feel quicker than the number suggested. At the same time, handling was a real strong point. A front anti-roll bar, wide Goodyear radials, and quick steering made the AMX feel sharp on twisty roads. Although the brakes were slow to react, careful driving made it easy to enjoy the nimble handling. Some buyers also added the optional 3.15:1 rear axle ratio for better pickup off the line. The AMX's new style made a big impact. A giant flaming Hornet decal was available for the hood and trunk, adding even more attitude. Motortown Corporation completed the sporty upgrades outside the AMC factory, helping keep costs low while giving the Hornet a fresh new face. Even if the engine choices stayed mild, the 1977 AMC Hornet AMX gave drivers a rare chance to own a colorful, lively, and affordable sporty car, quietly keeping the muscle car spirit alive at a time when almost everyone else had already moved on. Number 2. AMC Matador 360, 1976. The 1976 AMC Matador 360 quietly made its mark as an unknown sleeper car, offering power and comfort when few people were watching. It carried a long hood, a bold grille, and smooth lines that balanced toughness with a modest look. Even the bright colors like deep reds and lively blues gave it a strong but friendly style on the road. Looking closer, the Matador came with comfortable bench seats, vinyl touches, and options like power steering and air conditioning, which made everyday driving easy and pleasant. Buyers could choose between different body styles, but the coupe with the vinyl roof and small opera windows became the most memorable design from this time. Moving to performance, real excitement started with the 360 cubic inch V8 engine. It gave the Matador strong acceleration and a deep, rumbling sound that many drivers loved. Paired with either a 3-speed automatic or a 4-speed manual transmission, the Matador stayed smooth on long highways and handled bumps with comfort, even if sharp corners were not its best friend. At the same time, fuel economy was not a strong point, offering around 10 to 15 miles per gallon, but the trade-off was a big, strong ride that felt steady and sure. Torque in numbers as high as 320 pound-feet gave it serious pulling power when needed. Even though it never sold in huge numbers, the 1976 Matador 360 kept a loyal following. Today, finding one in good shape feels like finding a lost treasure, showing just how much character and veiled strength this special car truly had. Number 1. 1976 AMC Pacer X. The 1976 AMC Pacer X tried hard to earn its place as an unknown sleeper car, bringing new energy without changing its famous wide shape. This year, American Motors gave the Pacer a 2-barrel carburetor, pushing horsepower from 95 to 120. Even though the car stayed heavy, the extra power helped it move quicker through city traffic and made stoplight starts much more fun. Looking closely, the Pacer X still used an automatic transmission only, which softened some of the performance gains. Quarter-mile times improved to 18.6 seconds at 71 miles per hour, better than the slower 1975 model. While highway speeds still made the engine buzz loudly, the Pacer handled daily driving with fresh energy. At the same time, the inside of the Pacer X offered a very unique feel. The dashboard wrapped around the driver like a command center, while the passenger side pushed far forward, creating a big feeling of space. Warning lights surrounded the speedometer, and the optional rally pack added small but useful gauges, including one of the tiniest tachometers ever seen. With so much glass around the cabin, sunlight poured in easily, making air conditioning a smart extra for buyers in warmer places. On the move, the Pacer's ride stayed smooth and steady, thanks to its well-damped suspension and an isolated front crossmember that softened rough roads. Even with its extra size and weight, the 1976 AMC Pacer X showed flashes of real promise, quietly offering drivers a different kind of driving experience masked inside its famous wide body style. That's a wrap-up for today's video. Thanks for watching, and do like and subscribe to the channel.